This big grey building might look boring as fuck, but inside's actually wild. This is a zoology building up by the uni in Old Aberdeen, and hardly anybody actually goes in unless they study there. But it's free and open to the public, and it's a hidden gem, that's for sure. Inside there's a full zoology museum with over 75,000 real animal specimens. Aye, real. The collection started over 100 years ago and it's still used today for research into evolution, biodiversity and how animals survive. But honestly, you don't need to be smart to enjoy it, it's just interesting. If you're bored in Aberdeen and want something different to do that's not just the beach, definitely go and check this place out. It's proper underrated. Most people in Aberdeen walk through the castle gate without thinking twice, but this used to be the city's execution square. For hundreds of years this is where justice was delivered, in public. On your way through you pass narrow lanes on the left, like Brebner's Court and Peacock's Close. People use these as nothing more than shortcuts now, but back then, this is where folk took their final breaths. People were marched through these closes from the toll booth to their deaths, straight into the square. The gallows stood right here and prisoners were brought out from the toll booth. Crowds packed the square, climbing walls and barrels just to watch somebody die. Executions weren't hidden, they were entertainment. In 1597, a woman named Agnes Smith was strangled and burnt here after being accused of witchcraft. And in 1841, Robert Davidson became the last man ever executed for being a pirate in Aberdeen. People pass through the castle gate every day like it's nothing, and walking over history is easy. It's taking the time to remember it that's harder. Follow for more forgotten Aberdeen. Did you know Aberdeen was home to the oldest standing bridge in Scotland? This is Brigabelgownie. Older than most castles and still standing stronger than half a Union Street on a Saturday night. It was built back in the 13th century by Bishop Jean or King Robert the Bruce. The answer you get depends on why you ask. It was once the only crossing over the Don. Folk, horses, even armies, all passing through here. If these stains could talk, they'd have some wild stories. There's a legend that says a horse and a rider fell from the bridge centuries ago, and some say on foggy nights you can still hear hoofs clattering off the water. They say Lord Byron played here as a loon when he lived nearby. Maybe that's where he caught his dramatic streak. If you wander through on a quiet day, you can still feel the alpine peace, like the place hasn't changed in centuries. So aye, oldest bridge in Scotland, a bit of mystery, some Aberdeen history, and still a wee bit of magic hanging in the air. Follow for more forgotten Aberdeen. You've probably walked past this place without realising it holds some of Aberdeen's weirdest bits of history. This is the Maritime Museum, a whole building dedicated to the city's long love-hate relationship with the sea. They've got everything from fishing boats and shipwrecks to a full-on oil rig replica. Basically a timeline of how Aberdeen went from wee fishing village to oil capital of Europe. You can see actual ship parts, captains' journals and stories of storms that wiped out half the fleet. Wild stuff that never gets talked about. Tucked away by the harbour, you could blink and miss it, but inside's way bigger than it looks. Half the museum's actually built into an old merchant's house from the 1500s, and the rest is a modern glass extension, so you're literally walking through centuries of history in one building. And loads of it's interactive as well. You can press buttons, spin wheels, pretend you're steering a rig, proper hands-on stuff. So aye, next time you're wandering a harbour, pop in. It's free, part house, part history, full of interactive bits, and honestly it's one of the coolest forgotten spots in Aberdeen. This is Ship Row, one of the last pieces of medieval Aberdeen still standing. Older than Union Street and older than the city that you think you know. Its name comes from Sheep Row. This was a livestock route. Sheep, cattle, carts, all driven from the castle gate straight to the harbour. Before roads were planned, this was the plan. This street was a bridge between worlds, old Aberdeen above and the North Sea below. Everything that left Scotland passed here. Everything that returned climbed back up. By the 1700s and 1800s, Ship Row became a sailor's quarter. Inns, lodging houses, taverns, beds for a night and drinks before departure. Comfort before the unknown. Men came here before crossing oceans. Some came back and some didn't. This street had their last songs and their first footsteps home. Then Aberdeen modernised. Roads widened. Medieval streets erased. Whole layers of the city erased for speed and concrete. Ship Row survived, but only just, left in the shadow of progress. This is a street that once fed the city, carried fish, livestock, letters, sailors and dreams. A street that connected Aberdeen to the world. Ship Row isn't just all, it's a reminder that before gas and engines, Aberdeen was built on footsteps, salt and stone.